Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how to import data into your MySQL DBMS, and I'm going to show you how to write very basic SQL queries so that you can look at your data. So to start with, I've already gone to Canvas and downloaded the .sql file that's a part of this lab, and I have that in my downloads folder, so it's ready to go. If you did the assignment last week, you should have your local instance in your MySQL connections list. So make sure that that's working, and because we're going to import the data into that local instance. So let's get started. Okay, now I'm at my workbench. To import data into our database, we can either select the Data Import Restore down here in Management, or we can select Server Data Import. And that's going to bring up the Data Import Wizard as a tab. You can see that the query pane I had open is still a tab, and the import tab is here so that I can switch between tasks if I need to. In this wizard, I'm going to select import from self-contained file. Now I've already downloaded the file from Canvas, so I'm going to go all the way to the right. I'm going to click these three dots here, and I'm going to use my system dialog to find the file that I downloaded from Canvas. That's in my downloads folder. Your downloads folder, of course, is going to depend on what kind of computer you're using, whether you're using Windows or Mac. I'm going to select my uscities.sql from Canvas, and I'm going to click Open. And then last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select Start Import. The import should only take a few seconds. It's about 2 megabytes of data. Now, what should happen after you do an import is that the schemas should show a new schema, the schema that we just imported. Schema is just another name for database. But in order for that to happen, I'm going to have to click this little reload button. And now you can see after I click the reload button, this public US cities data appears. I'm going to close my administration tab, and I'm going to open up this public US cities. And in the public US cities, I'm going to open up tables. SQL databases store all of their data in tables. So you're going to see that there are two tables, cities and states. If I want to see the data in the states table, I just have to hover over states, and then see these three icons on the right. I have to select the rightmost icon, the grid icon. And that's going to open up sort of a three-part panel. One part is going to be the SQL query that gets me the data. The middle part is going to be the data that the SQL query actually returned to me. And the bottom part, which I need to make a little bit bigger, is the result of running the SQL query. As we're going to see a bit later, that result is important when you have an error in your SQL syntax. So now let's take a stab at learning a little bit of SQL. In order to do that, I want to go to the cities table. I'm just going to hover over the cities table, revealing these three icons. I'm going to select the rightmost icon, and that's going to open up a cities tab here, and put in the most essential select statement in SQL, a select statement that just shows you all the data in the table. Okay, so let's take a look at the anatomy of this select statement. It's the word select, and then this character star, which is Shift 8, from, and then here is the name of the table that I wish to get the data from. The table is in the public US cities schema, and then dot, and then the cities table. So that's just saying where I want to select all the data from. Now you can see that the table contains these columns: city, state code, zip, latitude, longitude, and county. So let's say I just want to see cities in this table and not city, state code, zip, latitude, and longitude, and county. What I would do is I would simply replace this star with the name of the columns that I want to see. So I'm going to put in city, C-I-T-Y, and then I'm going to hit this lightning bolt icon. Now you can see that instead of seeing all of the columns, I only see the city column, or just the column that I asked for. Now you might notice that Holtzville is still listed twice because in this database there are still 2 rows that have the city of Holtzville in it. When I ask for city, I'm not asking for only unique cities. I'm asking for every row in the table, but I only want to see city in the row. If I want to see more than one column, I list the names of the columns separated by commas. So if I want to see city and county, I would put city, comma, county, and then hit the lightning bolt. And you can see that now I see just the columns city and county. If I wanted to see more than that, state code, for example, I would add state code, also separated by commas, and hit my lightning bolt. And now you can see that I see city, county, and state code. Let's put all the columns back for now, and I want to show you how to select only certain rows. So far we've just limited the number of columns that have come out, but if I want to limit the number of rows, if I want to see fewer than the 42,000 cities listed in this database, I start by adding the keyword where. The where keyword is going to let me say not just the name of one of the columns and the value in that column that I wish to restrict my query to. So if I want to say where, if I want to select just where the city is equal to Santa Cruz, I will say where city equals, and then in single quotes, single ticks, those are apostrophes, otherwise known as, I'm going to put in Santa Cruz. The search is case sensitive, so watch out. I'm going to hit the lightning bolt. And there. I'm actually going to hit the lightning bolt this time. And now you can see that there are 7 rows in the database where the city matches the word Santa Cruz. In fact, you can see that Santa Cruz, New Mexico is a Santa Cruz you may not have known about. I can limit to any column that I want. So what if I only want to see things in Santa Cruz County? Well, I can just say where county equals Santa Cruz and then hit the lightning bolt. And now you can see that in addition to there being a Santa Cruz County, California, there is also a Santa Cruz County, Arizona, where the city of Nogales is located. Well, what if I want to further restrict my output? So what if I only wanted to see things in the county of Santa Cruz that were also in the state of California? Well, in order to do that, I will say and state equals CA. Now I'm going to hit the lightning bolt, but here you can see I don't get any results back. Some of you may have already spotted that I've made an error in my SQL. How do I know what the error is? Well, let's take a look down here. You can see this red X is telling me that there is an error in the last statement I executed. And in this bubble pop-up, you can see it says response error code unknown column state in where clause. Well, that's because this column that holds the state code is called state code and not state. So that was where I made the error, and you can see that it's trying to tell me the error. So if you get a blank screen like this, make sure you go and look at your error and try and understand what it means. So now I'm going to select state code, hit the lightning bolt again, and you can see that now I just have the cities and really the zip codes inside of Santa Cruz County, California. So that's a basic introduction for how to write simple SQL queries that filter either columns or filter rows, or indeed, if you like, you can filter both.